terrorist attacks, with quotations from the Quran. So we generally think that they misunderstand Islam. So the fact that they quotate Islamic sources doesn't mean that what they do is Islam. So isn't this the same thing also with Darwinism? The fact that many of these people did quotate Darwin isn't a proof that Darwinism in itself is terrorism.
Müslüman adı altında terör yapan kişiler hep Avrupa'da Darwinist, materyalist, sosyalist eğitim almış.
Of course, if we look at Muslims who have been educated in the West and under the influence of Darwinism, materialism and communist ideologies, this is not something surprising. Because when you look at such Muslim terrorists, you will see that they have been educated in the West, in the United Kingdom or in the United States, and they are fans of communist guerrillas. They are fans of Hiroshima, they are fans of Chen, for example. But a real Muslim fears Allah, and he knows that he has to justify all his deeds in the afterlife. So he takes every step of his with this consciousness, because a real Muslim cannot harm a single animal, let it be a small insect or a small bird, because this is something haram, this is something forbidden. So a real Muslim cannot harm any other being. On the other hand, these terrorists, which call themselves Muslims, are people who have been educated in the UK and in the US or in any other part of the Western world, and they have received a very strong materialist and Marxist education, so we cannot generalize.
Biologists nowadays, they wouldn't say that the theory of evolution says that only the fittest survive, but those who know how to adapt to their surrounding. They might be fossils, they might be anything else, and they survive when they adapt to their surroundings. So it's not a question of survival of the fittest, but adapting to surrounding.
Yes, but this is not something which changes the situation, because a lion can chase a cat. This is because Allah has created the lion that way. And a tank would demolish a house because it's powerful. So this doesn't necessarily change the situation.
Do you think Darwinism is causing big damages nowadays?
Of course it harms people, because when you look at the Soviet Socialist Union, 20,000 people were killed because of communism. In China, 65 million people were killed for the communist cause. In Vietnam and in Korea, for example, 2 million people were killed. In Cambodia, again, 1 million people were killed for the communist cause. And we have similar numbers in Latin America and in Afghanistan, where 1.5 million people were killed for the communist cause. And in the World War II, 55 million people were killed, which was caused by Hitler. And it still continues today as well, because when you look at the terrorist attacks which we are going through nowadays, they all stand back to Darwinism.
So you think that the terrorist attacks which we are facing now in Madrid, in India, in London and elsewhere won't happen any longer when we'll have defeated Darwinism?
Yes, of course, because things will change if we eradicate Darwinism on this earth in a very serious manner. And this will only be possible through the emergence of the Mahdi, the Savior, and Jesus Christ. Such evil forces have been foreinformed, they have been explained before, because Allah Himself has created these evil forces like Hitler and Lenin and many others. So actually, these were stated and recorded beforehand, and they all sign as the emergence of the Mahdi, the Savior, and the second coming of Jesus Christ. So this will be a kind of test for the humanity, because people will, when these two people come on this earth, they will listen to their ideas, they will listen to what they have to tell them, and through that test, they will just reach a very peaceful time. Mahdi, the Savior, and Jesus Christ will come together, and they will just eradicate the evil forces of Darwinism and many other evil forces on this earth, so everyone will be in peace.
You also said in an interview that voices against Turkey becoming a member of the European Union did arise because of the rejection of Darwinism in Turkey. In an interview, it was with Al Jazeera, you said that you were asked that there were voices in the European Union saying Turkey should not become a member of the European Union. And you said that the reason for this is that in Turkey there's already a growing resistance against Darwinism, and the European Union doesn't want this.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, it was this was my question. It's okay. Do you think Turkey should become a member of the European Union?
Tabii Türk İslam aleminin, bütün Türk devletlerinin, bütün İslam aleminin lideri olarak Avrupa Birliği'ne girecek.
Yes, I believe that Turkey should be a member of the European Union, but Turkey should be a member of the European Union as the leader of the Turkish and Islamic world. Because when Turkey becomes a member like that, Turkey will have the power to save the world from the economic crisis and the psychological chaos, the spiritual breakdown the humanity is facing right now. So this, I believe, is the very destiny of Turkey.
Do you think the roots and the reasons for the financial crisis right now is also Darwinism?
Yes, I definitely think so, because the economical crisis we are going through right now stems from disbelief in Allah. It stems from the strong egoism of human beings. It stems from greed and is ever wanting more and more. So these are very basic reasons for the economical crisis, which can be explained scientifically and sociologically. And these are only some of them. So this financial crisis will turn into a very great financial breakdown. The world will go through a very serious and very dire financial breakdown. And this has been explained in the religious texts that it would occur before the coming of the Savior, the Mahdi, and Jesus Christ. This has also been explained by our Prophet. So people cannot solve this problem, and the world will not save itself from this great financial breakdown. And when the Mahdi, the Savior, and Jesus Christ will come to this earth, this economical crisis will just be the reverse, and there will be a great abundance and great peace for all people. And this will happen in 10 or 20 years of time, and you and everyone in this room will see this with their own eyes.
So just that I did get it right, you think that this economic crisis right now will continue for about 10 and 20 years, and then in about 10 and 20 years the Mahdi, Jesus, will reappear again and will solve the problem?
So it is not 10 or 20 years, it is actually 7 years, because in the Quran we have a surah, we have a verse which is titled as Yusuf, and this is specifically about the age of the Mahdi, the Savior. And when we look at this text, it says that this crisis will begin somewhere around 2007, and it is the same text that tells us that the crisis will last for 7 years, which hints at the year 2014. Again, in the same surah, in the same verse, the Quran explains that agriculture and animals should be given great importance during this crisis.
So, what other signs do you find that indicate the coming of Mahdi and Jesus right now happening in the world?
Well, there are many signs, and these signs are over 300 in number, and let me quote you several of them. For example, the bloodshed in Kabe, which happened in 1979 in the month of November. This has been explained in the hadiths of our Prophet, and which has really occurred. And the siege of Afghanistan in 1979, the sun and moon eclipses in 1981 in the month of Ramadan, and the coming out of comets like Halley in 1986, and in the month of October in 1980, the war between Iran and Iraq has already taken place, and great rivers' waters being eradicated like Furat's waters. It came to a halt, and this was a great piece of news in Hürriyet, the Turkish newspaper.